Hey guys, Bobo here with BrassReewl Brothers. Hope you all had a fantastic Halloween. I wanted to get this out yesterday, but life wouldn't let it happen. But I thought it might be nice to sort of just wrap up the whole Halloween season on this Sunday, just to send off Halloween in a nice, fun fashion with Trick or Treat. Oh! Happy Halloween! Thanks for coming back for some more hot, fresh popcorn on this final installment of a BrassReewl Halloween. A BrassReewl Halloween. A BrassReewl Halloween. A BrassReewl Halloween. Man, it's a beautiful day here in Dallas. And to kick off my favorite day of the year, and to finish off of BrassReewl Halloween, I'm doing the quintessential Halloween film, Trick or Treat. Written and directed by Michael Dougherty, same guy who wrote some of the X-Men scripts and the Superman Returns script. But this is a project that he had been wanting to bring to screen for years. Even when he was a film student, one of the main characters you see in this movie, or on the cover of the movie, Sam, it was a little short film that he had made called Season's Greetings, starring that character, which is actually on the DVD and Blu-ray of this. And that's what allowed him to make this movie, is him sort of pitching that short animated film to everybody. And finally it caught on. But this, in my opinion, is the best anthology Halloween film out there. There's a bunch of them: Creepshow, Creepshow 2, Dead Time Stories, Tales of Halloween, some newer ones, Monsterland, Twilight Zone, and of course one of the most famous shows for anthology horror ever, Tales from the Crypt. But I could go on and on about that. All of those are fun and have their own reason to exist, and some of them are better than others, but to me, this one is a hoot from start to finish. And most horror fans agree with me. This started off flying under the radar way too much because for some reason it had gotten made, produced, edited, it was ready to go, and Warner Brothers cut it from the slate the year that it was going to be released. And then later it kind of just got trickled out on DVD and Blu-ray. Over the years has gained a huge cult following. So much to now, if you go to any sort of Spirit Halloween store or any Halloween store that's like a chain, you're going to find all kinds of Sam stuff there because Sam is the character, sort of the face or mascot of this movie. Oh yeah! But I mean, it's got a slew of people in it, too many to name all of, but the most recognizable ones you'll see in there are Anna Paquin, Dylan Baker, Leslie Bibb, and the great Brian Cox. So the movie actually kind of starts off like Creepshow as far as that comic book feeling scene, the way they did with Creepshow, making a comic book sort of come to life. This one does the same thing. I know for a fact that that's an homage that Michael Dougherty's trying to pay towards Creepshow. But it revolves around 5 stories, or kind of like 4 stories and an opening story, but they all connect and intertwine with each other. And I don't mean just like the end of one story connecting to the beginning of another story and then that drifting on. No, I mean they all have their own place and story arc, but throughout the film, you're constantly having this go on. And the way they juggle all of them throughout this movie, not only is it just extremely well done, but it's really original and clever, and I've never seen it done on this level before. The movie all takes place on one night, with the exception of some storytelling that goes into some flashbacks. But the events really in this movie that you're following happen all in one night. Starting with a girl and her boyfriend trick-or-treating and going back to their house, and he's a prude, wanting to take down the Halloween decorations way too soon. Then you sort of have this creepy neighbor vibe where, you know, you have that classic story of any neighborhood of that one weird house that maybe something's going on. Then you got another story about the next door neighbor to that creepy neighbor who's an even creepier neighbor who likes to prey on children and women, and he's got a creepy kid of his own. Then a story that follows these girls throughout town, that something's going on with them. They're all dressed up like Little Riding Hoods. Go figure that one out. And we have these story of these kids that are taking these pumpkins down to this little area for no real reason that we know of, but there's a story that they're talking about in it. They're always talking about this old legend of these kids dying on this bus, and they were all like mentally disabled kids. And so they're taking these pumpkins to that sort of crash site area. But with all those stories going on, not only are they all good and all very interesting and very, very Halloween-y, you got little Sambo creeping around doing this thing, and he's lurking in every story. And characters within every story are lurking in other people's story. You're getting to see perspectives to a story from another story's perspective. It's just really clever the way it's done. I know I'm probably over describing it, but when you see it, you'll be like, damn, good writing. The way they nailed down the character of Sam is spectacular. Super creepy. Some have called him the spirit of Halloween now. Like, he's gained huge Halloween status since he's come out. Like, for real, he will be remembered forever for Halloween. And he's not just a creepy looking spirited dude walking around that's like this trick-or-treating spirit of Halloween, but when he takes his mask off, he's creepy as shit. Get that thing away from me! While he's lurking around and doing his thing in all the stories, and you get to see some carnage occasionally with him, he's actually a major part of one of the stories. Like the major final act story that's sort of tying it all together. Because like I said, all these are completely intertwined. They're not just separate individual stories. They are, but they all intertwine big time. One of the things that makes Sam so creepy, Sam, he's named after Samhain. Or it looks like Sam Hain, but it's pronounced Samhain. It's the old school evil thing that Halloween's kind of based on, but it's spelled S-A-M-H-A-I-N, but I guess the M's silent. So he just named him Sam for short after that. Just a little quick history lesson on him. Man, I can't praise this movie enough. From start to finish, it's fantastic. Any Halloween horror fan is gonna love it. Even if you're not a fan of certain genre like vampire, werewolf genres, or ghost and zombie genre, they kind of cover every horror genre in this movie. They give you a little something of everything. They give you a little bit of that kind of 80s slasher vibe. They give you the creepy ghost story vibe. They give you that sort of folklore vibe with like the vampire werewolf thing. And they give you the monster vibe with Sam. It's just great. He is the spirit of Halloween. It is the quintessential Halloween film. If you haven't seen it, please try to watch this movie. You're gonna love it. It's not too late. It's Halloween weekend. I do think it's really impressive to have one film and have so much lore and popularity created over one film to kind of compete up there during Halloween time with the greats like Freddy, Jason, and Michael. Like I said, all my NECA toys up there, those are all horror, all kinds of different fun. And they added old Sam to it. Attaboy, Sambo! They've talked about doing the sequel for years. Fans have been clamoring for it. And from what I understand, it's finally been greenlit. So hey, fingers crossed we're gonna get another Trick or Treat. Hope it's as good as the first one. I will say, Creepshow 2, kind of like parts of that better than Creepshow 1, but I kind of view those as just one big entity. Hopefully that's what we get with this sequel eventually, is something that completely just adds to the first one. Well guys, it has been a pleasure doing this for y'all over Halloween time. I love y'all with all my heart. Help us get to 200 subscribers. We're so close. You can be the one that pulls us over the edge. I'm gonna be taking a break after this. Not a long break, just a few days, because I've been working nonstop. I'm not kidding. Sometimes like 6 in the morning till like 12, 1 at night. But it's been worth it. It's been an awesome experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I can't wait to do it again next year. And I got some videos coming up real soon. But if anyone has any suggestions on any videos, top 10s, anything like that you think that would be cool for me to cover, please put it in the comment section down below. I'm really wanting to interact more and more as much as I can with everybody. Contribute to this horror community and movie community that we all love. It's been a fantastic but for this October, I'm signing off. Help us get to 200 subscribers by the end of the month. Look for BrassReewl Brothers on Facebook. Look for Bobby Williams on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, BrassReewl Bobby at BrassReewl. And remember, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorn.